What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Very happy to have you guys here. I wasn't planning on doing another live so soon after yesterday, but there's some stuff that has come to my attention over the last 24 hours that cannot be skipped over or ignored or not talked about, because I think there are enough news outlets and media outlets and commentators and opinion makers that just skip things because it doesn't fit their narrative, and that is severely irritating. And it's annoying that we have to play a guessing game with what's news and what's not. And I got a few things to talk about. I'm not going to keep you guys here too long. It's Friday afternoon, so I wanted to get into this immediately. So I want to welcome everybody real quick. Hey, Mama Hamby. Hey, Shannon. Welcome. Guys, do me a favor. Share the crap out of this video, because as you guys know, Facebook does not like what I have to say. And after today, they're probably not going to like me a little bit more, because I have something to get into, something very near and dear to my heart, something that's very, very troubling to me. But I'll get into that. That'll be my second topic. There's three things I'm going to touch on today. First thing I want to get into is Georgia. What's going on in Georgia? So this is basically what happened over the last few, hours, 24 hours since we had the hearings going on. There was a hidden videotape that has become public from Election Day, and it showed an election official in Georgia basically forcing the poll watchers, the people that were supposed to be there to watch the counting of the ballots, both Democrats and Republicans. So we see this election official basically kick these people out, and within, a few minutes, he pulls out these suitcases filled with ballots from under desks. And it's obvious that these people were told to leave for a reason. This was all a planned situation. And hey, Debbie. Hey, Anthony. Welcome, everybody. Hey, Shannon. Thank you for sharing. This was a planned situation. And finally, this was something that got the attention of Governor Brian Kemp, who, in my opinion, is one of the rhinos, one of the people that basically betrayed President Trump. The reason that Brian Kemp can no longer play the role of the Republican dummy and say that nothing happened is because it happened on video. I think, hey Ma, welcome. I think that's going to raise a lot of questions. Not only forget about Georgia, I think that's going to have a ripple effect in the swing states that are in question right now. Now, take this science, or statistics that you want to, if you want to see these election anomalies, as they like to call them. So they're saying that Joe Biden got more votes than Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, but only in 4 counties. Don't get it twisted. It's not across the entire United States. Don't believe what CNN is saying. Don't believe what MSNBC is saying. Joe Biden got more votes in 4 counties. 4, they're notorious liberal cheating counties, but they're 4 counties nonetheless. It's not nationwide. It's not in every state. 4 counties. Not even 4 states. Not 4 cities. 4 counties. And nowhere else did he beat Obama or Hillary. Not in California, the most liberally disgusting state in the union, and not New York. I mean, between New York and California, I imagine it's probably a solid 25 to 35% of all Democratic votes nationwide for a presidential election between those two states. And rumor has it that, forget the narrative, the rumor has it that President Trump actually did flip California, but, you know, that's neither here nor there, because without tangible evidence, I could only sit here and speculate. And again, I've said this before, I'm one that's big on tangible evidence. And what we saw in that video yesterday from Georgia is tangible freaking evidence. And I think things are going to start moving a little bit quicker. Next thing I want to talk about. Oh, the reason I brought up Brian Kemp, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Brian Kemp is basically got his back against the wall. What's he going to do? When somebody's showing him this video, what's he going to do? Say, oh, that looks up and up. It's not. It's not on the up and up. Nothing that happened in this election was on the up and up. And finally, we got something that's going to create a little bit of traction. I don't know if it's going to give us enough traction, but it's going to give us something. It's going to give us something. These liberal morons don't want to hear it. They don't want to acknowledge it. And the media doesn't want to cover it. So it's our job to be as noisy as possible when it comes to this. Next topic I want to talk about, and this is something that, God, did it bother me when I first heard it. And if you're one that gets easily offended by snowflake nonsense, turn this off right now. Because what I'm about to say is most likely going to offend every single snowflake that sees it, because they're not smart enough to see what the problem is in this situation. So HBO is releasing a documentary on Tuesday, December 8th, and it's called TRANSHOOD. The title would lead you to believe that it's going to cover a neighborhood or a community of transgender adults, right? Wrong. This freaking documentary is all about kids between the ages of as young as 3. Listen to that, 3. Up until, I guess, 11, 12 years old. And their parents not only are co-signing them getting a sex change operation, but they're putting them in all of these, I guess they're grouped. I don't know what this is. This is beyond my understanding. This is a disaster. There was a moment in this video that I saw of the sneak preview, right? And in this sneak preview, you have a 4-year-old boy, and there's a woman on stage that's announcing him. And she's like, well, we have a 4-year-old boy. He wants to come on stage and tell you about how he identifies. And knowing liberal language, you know what that means. So then the camera pans over to the little kid standing there with his mom, and the kid don't want to go out there. He's a 4-year-old kid. He's a 4-year-old kid. And the mom goes, just go out there and tell him what we practiced. Not what you told me that you want. What we practiced. And then he wouldn't do it. So the mom gets the microphone. Well, he just wanted to come on here and tell you all that he identifies as a girl and his pronouns are she, her, and whatever. 4 years old. Every single parent that was involved in that should be arrested and charged with child abuse, child endangerment, and dereliction of duty as a freaking parent. And HBO? I don't know. I'm not one of these people that wants to cancel things and shut stuff down because I don't agree with it. But I'm sorry. This is a moral question. This isn't a question of whether I like this or not. Because if this was a show about transgender adults, yeah, if I don't agree with it, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to have it shut down, not by any stretch of the imagination. If you're an adult, do whatever you want. It's not my business, just like it's not your business what I do. You hear that, liberals? It's none of your business what I do and what I like and what I prefer and what I don't like. It's my business, not yours. But when kids are abused, endangered, and exploited and put into these positions, you're going to tell me that HBO and those parents shouldn't be held accountable? Shouldn't be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law? Forget about Netflix and that show Cuties. That was amateur hour compared to this. That was amateur hour compared to this. And I'm not going to just come on here and talk about the disgustingness that is HBO. I'm planning to do something about this. The fact that HBO can even put this on TV as part of their programming is a goddamn disgrace. It is a goddamn disgrace. When your kids turn 18, right? And they come to you and say, Mom, I've lived my life 18 years as a boy, as a male. I don't feel comfortable. I'm going to do what I got to do and change. They're adults. They're going to do what they want to do anyway. It's the beauty of this country. It's a free country. And these tolerant and accepting and unifying liberals want to come into office and cancel anybody that doesn't agree with them. The tolerant left. Anybody that doesn't agree with them, they want to cancel them. Well, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with transgenders. I don't agree with you telling me that there's more than two genders. I'm not identifying as a kitchen sink. You understand that? But you're free to do what you want as an adult in this country. But now, the tolerant left wants to get into office, and if they don't agree with what we're doing, they want to come after us and cancel us. Well, turnabout is fair play. First thing I'm personally doing is canceling my subscription to HBO. Don't need it, don't want it, don't give a crap about it. They're done. And I will be reaching out to certain entities, certain parties, and their HBO needs to pay a price for this. For the exploitation of children, HBO needs to pay a heavy, heavy price for this. And if you agree with me, fantastic. If you don't, I'm sorry for you. Anybody that exploits children in any way, shape, or form needs to be locked up for a very long time. And make no mistake about this, ladies and gentlemen. A documentary like this is the epitome of exploitation of children. And the fact that any liberal, any Democrat can say it's okay, it's their body, their choice. When I was 4 years old, I wanted to freaking be He-Man. I thought I was He-Man. My parents didn't drive me to go meet Skeletor. Good God almighty. I know 4-year-olds that think they're a Tyrannosaurus. We're not dropping them off at the Jurassic Park theme park because they think they're a Tyrannosaurus. They're 4 years old. Kids at that age, confusion is easy. That's when you guide them. You teach them the proper things. You let them know that there's choice in life. You don't force anything on them. And don't get it twisted. Not for a second. These parents are whack jobs that are forcing this on their kids because it's what they believe and what they didn't do with their lives. So now they're pushing their kids to do this and damaging them for the rest of their lives. The amount of therapy that these kids are going to require when they turn into adults. I think these therapeutic practices haven't even been invented yet. They haven't been invented yet. Stay tuned. I'm going to keep talking about this HBO thing. I'm not letting this go. I will not sit back as children are exploited, and I hope you guys won't either. I really hope you guys won't either. Final thing I want to talk about, James O'Keefe. If you don't know who James O'Keefe is, he's my new hero. He is the head of Project Veritas, who they actually do, remember this thing called investigative journalism? They do that, and they get to the truth. I'll give you two examples. What he did, this wonderful, wonderful man. He had somebody on the inside at CNN. And what this person at CNN did is they sent, big corporations have conference calls every day. So it's not like they actually use a conference system. They use like a telephone Zoom thing. So you call up, you put in a code, and you're involved in this conference call. Somebody must have given James O'Keefe, he had somebody on the inside, somebody gave this James O'Keefe the codes months ago. This man, this is day 3 now, he's been releasing audio every single hour for 3 days. It is devastating to CNN. I'll give you 2 examples. One of them, Cynthia Hudson. She is a vice president somewhere at CNN. And she said like this, this is her voice. You guys could go to projectveritas.com. All of the recordings are on there. So Cynthia Hudson, tell me this is not one of the most racist things you ever heard. When they were talking, this was right after the day after the election. This is very recent, when they were talking about President Trump winning the Hispanic vote in South Florida and all this other nonsense. She goes, Cubans voted for President Trump because they believe in bullies. All Cubans apparently believe and side with bullies. This is what this half-wit said. And that's how they present their narratives for the day. Next example, Jeff Zucker, the CEO of CNN, when all the information on Hunter Biden started piling on. This Momo comes on and says, well, according to the Wall Street Journal, who I trust more than the New York Post, they investigated, and Joe Biden's names wasn't anywhere in the paperwork when it came to getting money from China. Really? So, let me get this right. When Elliot Ness and his crew of untouchables put Al Capone in prison for tax evasion back in the 40s, did they do it because Al Capone's name was everywhere in his organization and they saw on the tax filings that he didn't pay taxes? No! His name wasn't anywhere. That's how you determine if somebody's guilty or not. You investigate. But CNN, they wanted to give it a pass immediately. This was a day after New York Post dropped this. So they didn't even give a chance for anybody else to do any investigating. They saw that Wall Street Journal said one thing, and since then Wall Street Journal has backtracked on that part, and CNN is done. James O'Keefe just went to Home Depot and bought about 15 nails, and I believe the 15th is going to be the final nail in CNN's coffin. I know for a fact Jeff Zucker is gone. AT&T, that owns CNN, is just waiting for the Christmas holiday to pass. Jeff Zucker is out as CNN CEO and chief, and a shot caller, because every shot that he's called has been a joke. CNN is now the laughingstock of media, along with MSDNC, the New York Slimes, the Compost, all that garbage. So, 3 things to pay attention to. Keep an eye on Georgia. HBO. Let's give them hell. Please, I'm going to post HBO's headquartered phone number and address in New York City. Inundate them with calls. Blow them the F up. I don't care how many messages you leave. I promise you I'll be calling them every chance I get with a new nasty message. I will not sit still for the exploitation of children. You could do anything else you want in this country, and Democrats are, and the liberals are, and the evil communists are, and the AOCs and the Ilhan Omars and the Adam Schiffs of the world, they are. But remember this, folks. In God's world, good prevails over evil at the end of the day. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Keep an eye on all this stuff. If anything new breaks, obviously I'll be on. All right? TGIF, have a great weekend. Trump 2020. Never give up.